I'm once again coming to you from the physical world today, doing physical art. Also, this time I have a better audio setup, so this video should be less of a nightmare to edit. Today's project will be a lot quicker to make than the last physical art I showed off. Today my plan is to remake one of the first hand-painted clothing items I made. I made this t-shirt with the phases of the moon painted on it about 2 years ago, and unfortunately, while I liked its simple design, the shirt itself doesn't fit me in a way I feel comfortable in. The neckline is too low for my taste, and the shirt fits too tightly to layer over long sleeves like I like. Recently, I bought this plain black t-shirt, and I'm planning on using the same design on this to create a shirt I feel confident in. I started by tracing the base of a water bottle with some chalk pencils several times across the top of the shirt, making each circle into a different phase of the moon. This is the same method I used when creating the previous version of this shirt, although this time the circle I traced was bigger, and I had less room, so I drew fewer phases. Last time I think I probably traced the lid of a tube of paint. My pencil also broke on the last moon, and I didn't want to get up to grab a pencil sharpener, so I just used the broken off tip to finish up. I then mixed some white acrylic paint with some fabric medium and began to fill in each moon. This is a very simple process and there isn't a lot to say about it, so instead I'll talk a bit about my early clothing painting. Also, I'm sorry that my head keeps getting in the way. I didn't have any sense of where the camera was above me while painting, so I definitely blocked my work from being visible multiple times while painting. The original moon t-shirt I made was the third clothing painting project I undertook, and the first that wasn't pre-planned. Previously, I painted a skull on the back of a hoodie and mushrooms around the hem of a skirt. You can see both of these clothing pieces in the video linked here, along with some other DIY clothing projects I made in the past. Those projects were both planned in advance and took several days. This moon shirt, on the other hand, was done in one evening to wear to school the next day because I wanted it for an outfit I was putting together. I just grabbed a plain black t-shirt I didn't wear much, and painted it with one layer of white paint. I probably should have realized there was a reason why I didn't wear that shirt much. I had almost finished the first layer of these moons when I realized that one of the crescent moons was misaligned. I quickly fixed its positioning with the broken off tip of my pencil and continued. I completed this project in 2 coats, leaving the shirt to dry between coats. Often when painting with white or pale colors on black fabric, it takes a lot more coats, and ends up kind of stiff as a result. This time, however, I managed to avoid that outcome. I don't know if it was the ratio of paint to medium I used, or the fabric choice, or just luck. Anyway, this was really quick to paint, and now it's done. I ironed the design in place after letting it dry overnight. Yes, I'm filming vertically again, but this time it is on purpose. It is easier to be in frame and close enough to the camera to show the detail in the shirt. Here is the finished product. But wait! Don't click away yet! We aren't done! After all, I still have to figure out what to do with the original shirt. I don't think I can donate this shirt. It was already old and secondhand when I painted it, and the paint job isn't that great. When I turn it inside out, you can see the bleed through of the paint, as well as places where older acrylic paint from my paint mat got stuck to the fabric. I also don't want to just throw away the shirt. In general, I try to avoid just throwing away old clothing, instead turning them to rags or fabric scraps. I also feel attached to this shirt. Even though I never wore it much, it is still one of my earliest clothing customization projects, and I can't just toss that away. Instead, I'm going to repurpose the graphic of this shirt into another clothing customization. I'll have 2 items of clothing with moon phase designs on them. This is a vest that I bought a couple of months ago that I'm hoping to continually customize with patches and pins, and the graphic of the phases of the moon is a great first addition. I started by cutting a rectangle around the graphic of the shirt out, putting the rest of the fabric to the side. The rest of the t-shirt can be used for fabric scraps, repairs, or very small sewing projects in the future, but it isn't getting used today. Also, once again, I'm sorry that my head keeps getting in the way of what I'm working on. I'm also very sorry about the autofocus, which kept focusing on my head instead of on the vest and patch. I then had to pause my recording to find safety pins. I usually have 2 containers of safety pins in my sewing box, one nicer quality set and one cheaper set, which is almost empty since I used a bunch of those pins to make jewelry. Unfortunately, my nice pins weren't in the box. I spent a good few minutes trying to find them elsewhere, then gave up and found a few more spare safety pins in my handbag, or removed from other clothing. I ended up finding my missing pin box after I finished filming, so I added a few more pins to the patch after the fact to make it more secure. When I returned with what pins I could find, I began to attach the moon patch to the back of my vest. This is a very temporary DIY, good for attaching patches that you aren't sure you want somewhere permanently, and the safety pins also make it look very alternative and punk. I folded down the edges of my fabric rectangle, like I was about to hem it, and then secured it to the jacket, section by section. I might eventually take it off again and actually hem it. I have no idea how much this fabric is likely to fray. There are pins on all 4 corners of the patch. On the short sides, there's 1 pin on each side. On the long sides, I originally put 2 pins, then added a few more for extra security. Some pins were harder to get in place than others, especially over the middle back seam where the vest fabric is quite thick. Even with that, this was a really easy DIY to do, and really quick too. If this interests you, I definitely recommend giving it a try. The rest of the video is going to be me showing off the 2 items of clothing I made, so stick around if you are interested, and I hope you enjoyed watching the DIY process. I'm now going to show you ways that I've styled both pieces I've made in this video, starting with the t-shirt, which was of course the main focus of the video. First, however, this is how the jacket came out. I've added a few more safety pins since filming the process, just to make sure it's a bit more in place, and someday I might try to hem this so that the raw edges aren't just held in place with the safety pins. I might or might not. It's kind of a temporary addition. I'm going to see whether I like it. If I like it, I might end up adding more. I think it's very cool, DIY, punk, temporary. I really like how this turned out. And I really like there was just like a side project I could do in conjunction with making this. And of course, I can wear both pieces at the same time and have moon on the front and a moon on the back. So this is the first outfit. Can't really show off the entire pants, but it's cargo pants with a belt. I've got the moon t-shirt over a black long sleeve because it is cold at the moment, but I could easily do this exact same outfit, just minus the long sleeve in warmer weather. And then over top, I've got this cool jacket. This is like my patch jacket. Well, at the moment it's more my pin jacket because I don't actually have any patches, but if the camera will focus, I've got a bunch of different pins. Most of these pins are homemade. Like, all these ones are bottle caps that I turn into pins. Then this flower I found in a thrift store. This clover thing I also found in a thrift store. And this I also found in a thrift store. And then I've also just got a spiked choker, some sun and moon earrings. There, that's the correct version. Some sun and moon earrings. These are just charms I found in a liquidator store, and then I turn them into earrings. And I've got a green pendant necklace. And, oh, tucked into my shirt by accident, I also have a safety pin necklace to match the vibe of the safety pins on the back. So this is outfit number 1. This is outfit number 2. It's a lot more monochromatic. It's entirely black except for the white moons and I guess some silver in the jewelry. Sorry about all the background noise, by the way. I am very near a high traffic road and can't do much about that, sorry. Anyway, I've got this fishnet long sleeve. This used to be just a pair of regular fishnet tights, but I cut a hole in the crotch and I cut the toes off, leaving enough of a band of the tighter woven toe material to make it stay cinched on my wrists. My first attempt at making stocking long sleeves like this, I cut this part off entirely, and they just kept riding up. They didn't work very well. The holes are not intentional holes, those are just, I wear these a lot, and I am a clumsy person. The biggest hole is hidden under my sleeve. Anyway, I've got that under the moon top, then I've got this belt, I've got this waist harness situation. This is actually a thing I made to hold heat pads because I deal with a lot of joint pain. I haven't used it all that much for that function, but it also works cool as a kind of like edgy alternative dystopian accessory. And then I've just got some basic black cargo pants with a chain on the belt. So that is outfit number 2. Oh, and the jewelry. Earrings are the exact same because I've got to change them. I've got a safety pin necklace, and I've got my spiked choker again. So on to outfit number 3. This is outfit number 3, also all black. My wardrobe consists basically entirely of green and black with a bit of white and brown, so this will be a continuing theme. Anyway, this is a bit more of a witchy aesthetic. I've got this long flowy black skirt with a chain of bells around the hips. This was a gift, and I don't know if this is picking up on the microphone, but they do jingle. So I don't wear it all that often because I think I probably sound very annoying when I walk. I've got the same spiked choker and the same earrings, but this time the earrings are on purpose because they fit this outfit. And then I've got this silver chain necklace that used to have a beautiful silver and black pendant on it that fell off somewhere, and I retraced my steps, couldn't find it, so it's gone, which is really sad because it was a really nice necklace, but I still like the chain. It's got some cool, like, details on it. And then I've also got this tree necklace that was a gift, and the return of the green and silver pendant, which is, I wear this almost every day. This is like my favorite piece of jewelry. Such a great purchase. Anyway, I've also still got the fishnet stockings, same upper layer, but I've added this corset as a belt. This was thrifted. It is absolutely falling apart at the seams. I don't know how long it'll last, but while it does last, it's quite a cool accessory. I tend to wear it lower so that it acts more as like a very wide belt, and that way I can also show off the design. Because this design is higher up on the shirt, I can actually wear a corset with it without covering up part of the design, which is a problem with most of my shirts. Most of the designs are lower. So this is outfit number 3, I believe. And I'll be doing one more outfit with this shirt, and then I'll be showing off more outfits with the vest. Fun fact, this particular outfit I already started showing off. I forgot to press the record button. Anyway, this is another more witchy outfit, but this is a bit more earthy. It still has the moons, obviously, but well, the last one was more entirely celestial. This one's got like green tones. It's got this extremely earth witchy hat. Let me actually show this off more close. This is a straw hat that I modified to have the conical witch hat shape. I glued a bunch of fake vines around the brim, and then I made these little shelf mushrooms and little brown mushrooms, let me get that visible, out of clay and glued them on. There used to be a couple more of these, but they fell off and I have not yet gotten around to fixing that. It's also, this hat also has these ribbons, so I can tie it onto my head in windy weather. So yeah, this is actually like my daily wear sun hat. I burn extremely easily, so I definitely need a sun hat. But yeah, nice fantasy vibes. Of course it would be fantasy vibes. I just dropped my mic pack. Let me fix this. Technical difficulties sorted. Anyway, moving down from there, I've got the same green pendant necklace, and then I've also got this necklace that has green and these like brassy, coppery, I don't know what color you call them, beads. Then I've also got these brassy, coppery earrings. I finally changed my earrings for this outfit. I've got this leaf and this pair of vampire fangs with a little green stone. I think it's made of like glass or plastic, but stone on it. This is like my second favorite metal. My favorite is silver, and then this like coppery, brassy, tarnished, brownish looking metal. I'm not really a huge fan of gold. It doesn't look great on my skin tone. Anyway, I've also still got the spike choker. I wear this a lot. Top situation is basically the same fishnets, same moon top obviously, and then I've got this green maxi skirt. I love this skirt. Sadly, this skirt has seen better days. It is the layers, some of the layers are kind of coming apart, and I need to get around to fixing that. It's on my to-do list, but I have not yet gotten good material for fixing with. So anyway, this is the last moon shirt outfit, and now let's see some outfits that involve the vest. There's really only 2 real ways to style this vest. I mean, there's plenty of variations, but basically my ideas are warm weather and cold weather. So right now this is more a warm weather styling, well, mid-tone weather. In warm weather I would be in shorts or a skirt. But I've got ripped jeans and this skull tank top. I painted, not skull, ribcage tank top. I painted this myself. This started as a project of, I've got too much white paint left over from a different painting project, and I want to use it up. So I started this. It's not at all to scale. My actual ribcage ends like here, but it fills the space. So I've got that, and then this vest layered over with all my same pins and patches. I don't have any of my regular necklace. I mean, I've got this frog necklace, but I wear that on the daily. I don't even notice it anymore. It's not really part of the styling. That's just, I don't take it off. I've just got this spiked choker, and then some bottle tab earrings. And then I've got this vest with the sun, the moon, gosh, words are not my strong suit today, with the moon on the back. Then the other way I style this vest, which is honestly most of the way I've styled this vest, because I got this right at the beginning of winter. It is winter for me currently, and I am a wimp when it comes to the cold, so I wear a lot of layers. So most of the time, this is how I style this jacket more often, at least for this season. I've got a green flannel, and then a green hoodie, and then a green vest. Honestly, the flannel hoodie combination would be my, if I was an animated character, that would be part of my outfit. I wear these basically every day, at least during the cold months. This is actually pretty close to what an animated character of me would wear. Maybe not this, I don't wear this particular shirt all that often, but like, shirt with a graphic, random pants, and then flannel hoodie. I don't know if my animator would like me very much. But anyway, that's styled. And this is honestly how I was wearing, I mean, I had the moon shirt on underneath because I was wearing all my new stuff, because I was excited about my new stuff. But this is basically what I was wearing this morning before I started filming. I did take this layer off eventually because Despite the fact that I am extremely sensitive to cold, I'm also very sensitive to the heat, so when I started overheating I did shed layers. So, I did not prepare for this. I was going to have the moon shirt here so I could dramatically pull it up and do my outro. I did not think ahead, so I will do my outro in a second. I was about to say I'm a professional. I don't get paid to do this. Not yet at least. I am on top of things. This is a lot more unfiltered than you normally see on this channel. Anyway, I'm gonna go get the shirt and then I can do an outro. Anyway, dramatic reveal of the 2 items of clothing I altered in this video. That was that. It was a much simpler project and I got 2 items of clothing out of it, which is great because normally it takes me a lot longer to make these DIY projects and only get 1 thing. So, I've got very simple t-shirt, very simple DIY project. This is not currently available on my Etsy. I wasn't sure about ever doing that because it's just such a simplistic design and I'm worried that I'm like copying someone else's design. I don't know if this is a design that's copyrighted. But anyway, I was a bit nervous to post this because I figured it's so simple. Honestly, like if you're interested in a shirt like this is very bad for business. If you're interested in a shirt like this, just like trace out like a water bottle or something on a black shirt and fill it in with acrylic paint. For this few layers, you probably don't even need to worry about fabric medium. Such a simple DIY, I wouldn't feel that great about trying to make money off it. Anyway, if you do like hand-painted DIY shirts though, I do have an Etsy store. The designs on it are a lot less simple than this, but you might enjoy them. Anyway, this video might be extremely long, and honestly most of that will probably be me showing off the clothing rather than me actually creating the clothing, because it didn't take that long to create. We'll see how much of this I keep in the final product. Until next time, bye! Blanks on the word. With a chain of bells.